Sensei Richard Stone, a black belt, challenged Arthur Hayes, a janitor, to spar for fun. What happened next stunned everyone in the martial arts gym. "Hey, you there cleaning? How about a quick demonstration?" Richard from the center of the mat, his black belt shining. "I bet you've never seen a real fight, right?" Arthur stopped mopping and slowly looked up. At 42, he'd been cleaning the gym for only 3 weeks, usually after hours. But tonight, the advanced class ran late. "I don't want to bother you, Sensei," Arthur calmly replied, going back to a stubborn stain. "Just finishing up so you can get back to it?" Richard let out a loud, mocking laugh. "Everyone, look at this! The guy's afraid to even step on the mat?" The 8 students chuckled nervously, some clearly uncomfortable. Richard didn't know that Arthur had spent 20 years trying to forget who he really was. 20 years since leaving the fighting ring after a life-changing accident. 20 years keeping a secret even his teenage daughter didn't know. "Come on, man," Richard continued, approaching with his usual arrogant smile. "Just a little demo. I bet you don't even know a basic guard. How about showing my students the difference between someone who trains and someone who just cleans?" Arthur felt a familiar feeling in his chest, like an old muscle waking up. His eyes met Richard's briefly, and for a split second, something passed between them that made Richard step back. "Just an educational demonstration," Richard insisted, trying to hide his sudden uncertainty. "Nothing serious, just to show beginners why it's important to respect martial arts." Arthur put the bucket down and slowly stood up. His movements were surprisingly smooth for someone supposedly new to a mat. Around the gym, students stopped training, sensing something was about to happen. "All right," Arthur finally said, his voice calm like a lake before a storm. "But when we're done, you're going to apologize to all of them for turning this mat into a circus." Richard, laughed, but it sounded forced this time. "Apologize, man. You'll be apologizing to the floor when you meet it." None of them knew that Arthur Hayes had once been Arthur Ironclad Hayes, a 5-time world mixed martial arts champion. He had retired at his peak after an accident that cost his best friend and training partner Leo, the Crusher Martinez, his life. Since then, Arthur had sworn never to fight again. But some promises are broken when dignity is on the line. Richard adjusted his black belt with a dramatic flair, enjoying the attention. "Everyone gather around. You're about to see a lesson worth more than 6 months of training." Click. The difference between those who dedicate their lives to martial arts and those who just clean the floor where real fighters walk.